Okay. Everybody hold up before we officially confirm anything. So we have a lot to talk about as we all know. Some craziness around the SEC. Yeah, that's nothing new. But welcome to 2025. In a year where anything goes. In a year where anything is possible. Look, this is some very interesting and very, very odd developments that we've had in the next several weeks. That's it, man. So I do want to share very fast, very, very fast about the Brian Kelly situation because I got it from from a source that I know personally. He just got it and it said this. Just got a text saying it's done, just not public. Well, guys, it was only a matter of time before it officially was going to happen. And this goes back to the same situation that Florida and what Arkansas has had. You do not build around them. You do not build around good programs. And this is what happens. It's the bottom line. He's owed, so right now, BK is owed just over $54 million in buyout money. That's one of the biggest decisions that looms. But he did leave the office early this afternoon, and he did not return. Some of the staff, from what we're hearing, has been sent home as well. Guys, he's 34-14, but you've lost 3 of the last 4 games. They understand 2 losses on the road to top 10 opponent or to current top 10 teams. All 3 of your losses are to teams ranked in the top 10. What you saw last night in Death Valley was unacceptable. That's where administration is looking towards. Brian Kelly is 5-11 against top 10 teams in Baton Rouge as the head coach at LSU. That's unacceptable, especially for a team that's contending for national championships. Guys, it's different there. This isn't Fayetteville. This isn't South Carolina. This isn't a G5 program. Guys, they expect more. They expect more. That's ultimately what's going to come down to this decision. But nonetheless, guys, we're live. This is the SEC Live Final Whistle here on the Voices of College Football Network. Welcome all of you that have tuned in. We've got 130 of you already tuned in, and we're not even 5 minutes in. Guys, if you're watching us on YouTube, hit the like, share, and subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell notifications so that you are notified and you don't miss another video from us here on the SEC Live channel. If you're watching this on X, hit the repost button, hit the like button so that you guys continue to get notified for every time we go live on the SEC channel. Every live show is brought to you by our good friends over at Underdog Fantasy. Going over to underdogfantasy.com or download the Underdog Fantasy app on your Apple or Android device and use my promo code VOCFBSEC. And when you play your first $5 lineup, you will get $50 instantly in free bets. That's code VOCFBSEC. And when you play your first $5 lineup, you will get $50 instantly in free bets. Must be 21 or older, not available in all states. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. That is 1-800-GAMBLER. Let me take a break real fast. We'll be right back in just a minute.
College football is even more exciting when you've got some action on the line, and the games are even better when you're cashing in. And the Voice of College Football is the place to be to get the greatest value. Start with my picks. 75% against the money line, 58% against the spread, and I've got a 40-plus year track record. 11-0 in the college football playoff for me last year against the money line, 8-3 against the spread. And I'm just the warm-up act. Steve Merrill of Wager Talk is our ace in the hole, show stopper. 7 years with the Voice of College Football, over 30 years in the industry. Steve gives us analysis on all the big games, but you can't miss Steve's weekly under-the-radar pick. 28-12 against the spread the last 3 years. You also get picks from some of our top analysts here at the Voice of College Football, including Corey Bratta, Matt Zemek, and Steve Dace. Check out those numbers. Become a YouTube or Patreon member for just $99 per month. Go to the main channel on YouTube, click join, and then select the betting tier. Do the same thing on Patreon. Make 2025 a winner now.
So this just broke from Pete Nakos and says that there is a team meeting scheduled in about 45 minutes. All right. That ultimately is what we're going to hear. So that's what we're hearing right now. All right, here we go. Officially confirmed 6 minutes ago. Brian Kelly officially fired as LSU's head coach. There you go. That's it. This is the end of the Brian Kelly era, guys. That's it. So Brian Kelly officially fired as their head coach. He leaves with a 34-14 record as the head coach of the LSU Tigers. Won an SEC West title first year. Got a Heisman Trophy contender. But guys, he wasn't ready for the big time. He wasn't. He leaves with a 34-14 record as LSU's head coach. In his time at LSU, this is what he was. What's up, Jackson, by the way, who is in the chat with us right now. Always a very honorable Voice of College Football savant and an encyclopedia of all things college football. 2-2 in year one. I think they went 2-3, 2-4, 3-4. 4-4. You were 4-5 against top 10 teams in college football. I believe your record was worse against ranked teams, if I'm not mistaken. Three and 4, 3-5, 3-6, 4-6, 4-7, 4-8, 5-8, 5-9, 5-11, 5-11 against top 25 teams in the tenure of Brian Kelly. You can't go to a school like LSU and expect mediocrity. You get mediocre results, you get mediocre jobs. So now where does LSU go? You've now fired your second head coach in the decade. That's saying something. 3 year, and he's 22, 23, 24, in the middle of his fourth season there, and they let him go. Guys, what happened last night was the final straw. You know, they had enough of the BS. I don't blame them. But, guys, we're going to open up the call-in line if you guys want to hop on in. Jackson, thank you very much for the information. Frank Wilson is going to be named interim coach. I don't expect Frank Wilson to hang around very much. Does not surprise me that he will. Well, what do you know? As soon as I open up the call-in link, Jackson Johnson's up in here. What's up, buddy?
How you doing tonight, good buddy?
You know, as a Louisiana native, but no longer an LSU fan, I'm much better.
Wow.
But this was coming. I did not expect for, if you were to tell me at the beginning of the year that BK would be fired in the middle of the season as a top 10 team with a lot that you got in the portal and the improvements that you made after the first 4 or 5 games of the season, and for the collapse that you've had in 3 of the last 4, I would have thought you'd have been crazy. But here we are. This is...
Oh, man. One thing I will miss from the Brian Kelly era is the debates that Austin and I had over him. I'm
Lord.
Like, they're just so funny. I'm telling them, I was like, Brian Kelly's not going to win any big games at LSU. You're going to get disappointed, my guy. It's like, there's no more debating Brian Kelly at LSU now. He's gone. Like, something I've noticed too was the first move that LSU made with when Brian Kelly became head coach was like he got rid of the strength coach, right? And the strength coach that's at Texas A&M now, he was there when LSU won all 3 of their natties in this century.
Yep.
That's a bad move right there. And Texas A&M would just beat your ass for the second straight year and for the first time since 1994 in Baton Rouge. And it's the first time since 1991 through 1995 that A&M has defeated LSU in consecutive seasons.
This is the new normal now in college football. And in years past, well, let me say this, and I've addressed this before. When you go to big-time programs like your LSUs, your Alabamas, your Michigans, your Ohio States, you are expected to contend for national championships. You are expected to be college football playoff contenders. For this to go on, for LSU to spend money like they did in the transfer portal, get the dues that they needed, and for them to go out, have Garrett Nussmeier show little to no improvement on offense, have almost no improvement on the offensive line, have your defense get embarrassed the way that they did, that was the final straw. For you to get embarrassed at night, the worst home defeat that LSU has had, they've lost in back-to-back night games that were primetime aired last year against Alabama and now this year against Texas A&M. That's the final straw for Brian Kelly, and I don't blame him. Do I think Frank Wilson should be your head coach or your interim head coach at this point? No. But this is where you are at this point in time.
He's better than Brian Kelly. I mean, he's got Louisiana connections, whereas like Brian Kelly faked a Southern accent.
Well, here's my problem with that, Jackson. He's got Louisiana ties, but he doesn't know how to do a running back rotation properly.
That is true.
Because if you watched last night's game, you saw the following. You saw Harlan Berry get 7 touches and go for 55 yards in the first half and only carry the football once. He's going off, and you don't feed him the football. That's the issue that I have right now with LSU and their running back rotation. Is that it's been abysmal, and that played a role into why this offense has been so bad. And throughout the game last night, Brian Kelly blamed everybody else but himself. This is who Brian Kelly has been his entire career ever since he was at Notre Dame.
Oh, yeah.
And he did the same bullshit there. And he's doing the same bullshit today. It's the bottom line. That's what got you fired.
Never his fault. He's the one who goes through everything. And then it's, why aren't things working out? Because you're blaming everybody but yourself.
So now many people are questioning, well, who is your new head coach after this year? Well, the number one name that a lot of people have been pointing to is Lane Kiffin. Now you're going to be in a bidding war with them in Florida. Jackson, what do you think?
It's going to be quite interesting, but I feel like Lane would lean towards Florida more than he would LSU. But does Ole Miss keep Lane Kiffin? That'll be a humongous question right there as we continue with the rest of the season. Why has nobody thought of Lanning? I mean, I know I'm looking at a few coaching candidates list. I'm looking at one from Athlons from Steven Lasson. He seems to think Dan Lanning will be a coaching candidate for LSU. I mean, he's a long shot.
I don't know, man, because he just had a new 6-year contract over the offseason, too. And it's going to be very difficult. I know he's got SEC ties as a former Georgia defensive coordinator, but I just don't see him leaving Oregon at this point in time.
Yeah. I mean,
it's an interesting name, but yeah. I just have a hard time believing it.
Rhett Lashley at SMU. I mean,
I'll tell you what. I've been a big Rhett Lashley fan for as long as I can remember. Rhett Lashley is one of the best offensive minds in football, and he's done an amazing job with offenses. You give him 1 year, and what happens when Mike Van Buren takes over as your full-time starter next year? That's going to be an offense that I think can make a lot of noise in the SEC if Rhett Lashley is named your offensive, or not your offensive, but your head coach this time next year. But you've got a complete overhaul against you. I don't think you get rid of Blake Baker.
No.
But I do think that it's going to be another rebuild considering what you're going to lose next year. Most of your starting core from that defense is gone going into next year. Weeks brothers are gone. You're losing Mansour Delane. You're losing PJ Woodland possibly. AJ Halsey is gone. Cooley's gone. What else can I name? Good Lord.
I know the NFL season is still going on, but do you run it back with Joe Brady?
No. Joe Brady don't want to come back to Baton Rouge.
No.
He's an NFL guy through and through. He's not going to come back to Baton Rouge.
I don't know why Bill Bender from Sporting News seems to think Jimbo would be a good one, or James Franklin. I'm like, no.
Jimbo Fisher is fine. He is not. I want John Gruden. I'd rather have John Gruden come back before I get Jimbo Fisher.
John Summerall at Tulane seems pretty good.
Now, that's a good name. Okay, but here's my problem. He's got Louisiana ties. The problem is, are you going to pay a lot of money to go get him? That's my only complaint.
I wouldn't be surprised if LSU throw ponies out the dough. I mean, they're going to, obviously.
Yeah. So currently there's a meeting that's taking place with Governor Jeff Landry, who's the governor of Louisiana, members of the Board of Trustee of Supervisors and key boosters. There are several boosters that have explained ways to structure the buyout. One saying it would be no problem. Kelly's buyout would be mitigated by future employment, even a media job, if he chose not to coach again. Multiple sources confirmed to me today that Kelly rejected a settlement offer. Buying out Kelly, his staff, and hiring a new staff would likely cost north of $100 million, hence the high-level conversations. When Louisiana politics are involved, anything's on the table.
Jeez.
And being in the state of Louisiana, I do expect things to go up. I think that whenever you have things like this, that affects the economy as a whole, because athletics plays a big role into this. It does.
Yeah.
Jackson, you know from when Saban was there. Alabama politics has always played a huge role in athletics. The same goes for any major Power 4 school, especially a blue blood.
Oh, yeah. I know that this hire would be considered out of the box. But what about, and this is just for anybody really in college football. What about Eric Morris at North Texas?
I was thinking about Eric Morris for a while.
I know,
and I'm
right?
glad you mentioned Eric Morris. Eric Morris is a former head coach over at UIW. He coached Cam Ward when he was at UIW. By the way, shout out to Southeastern Lions, who are also in the Southland Conference. That's my school. I like Eric. I like his offensive philosophy. I like what they've done. I don't think he's going to leave the state of Texas. But if there were a job to open up, I think it would be the SMU job if Rhett Lashley is to go back to the SEC.
Oh, there you go.
That's my opinion. There's been so many moving pieces around, and this news literally just broke about 30 minutes ago. I don't know. And this broke early 2 hours ago from our guy Lon Phillips Sullivan, which, by the way, I don't know how familiar you are with him, Jackson. Usually he's been ticky-tacky when it comes to accurate information, but he's been right about a lot more stuff than I thought he would be. So he posted this about 2 hours ago that said that Brian Kelly is expected to be fired as they restructure the buyout contract language. So, and look, I watched the LSU live post-game show with Lewis Johnson, and he said the same thing. It was time to fire BK after that one. And I was thinking, well, it might be a little early. I think maybe they wait till after the season or they go into next year and fire him. But for this to happen now when I look at the big picture, because, Jackson, this is what I do sometimes. When I look at a program and when I look at where they are, I take a step back and I look at the bigger picture. I look at where the program is at the current moment, what the future looks like, and where they are and where they will be if they choose to make do with this situation. So I consider that just similar to what Josh Pate said about Penn State. If LSU would have continued with Brian Kelly, the season would have gotten worse and fans would have gotten even more pissed off. I think fans are done with BK. Fans have been done with BK. I don't know if you saw the game last night, Jackson. They were chanting "Fire Kelly" throughout the entire game.
Yeah.
That goes to show you where the fan base is. And for Texas A&M fans to go into the student section of LSU and chant Tigers Tigers and go along with the chant, that just shows you where this program is at. This is a disgrace of a program. This is a culture problem that's going on in this program. There's not a lot of, how do I say this? There's not a lot of leadership, and there is not a lot of guys that are stepping up big time in that locker room. That's why guys like Braden Fajoko called out guys. LSU media. They're rightfully pissed off, and he was right. There is a culture problem in that locker room. And they got exposed in 3 of the last 4 games.
Yeah.
So that's on
if
Woodward for the hire. That's on Brian Kelly for not managing the staff. Guys, when you go out and you hire, you got to hire a young dude. You got to hire somebody that's not past their prime. Guys, when Brian Kelly came to Baton Rouge, it was a stupid fit. He's talking about, I haven't won any of my games. This ain't about you, dude. This ain't about you. The red flag started showing in that first introductory press conference at halftime during one of the LSU basketball games. Go ahead, Jackson. You were about to say something. My bad.
No, you're good, man. It's like, why LSU thought this was going to work out was beyond, because it was like, and this is something I've told everybody for years, because it was like, when he was at Cincinnati, Notre Dame, they always won the big regular season games, but they could never win the big games in the postseason. I told people this was going to be a problem at LSU. I just didn't think it was going to equal the regular season. I mean, people kind of boasted and scooted their butts across the floor after LSU beat Alabama in his first season in 2022. They almost lost to Arkansas a week later, but then they get smacked by a Texas A&M team with a losing season. And that told me right then and there, okay, this is going to be a problem throughout his tenure, as long as he's at LSU. They always came up short in the regular season, close but no cigar. And year 4, week 1 against Clemson, because you got to remember, like, the problem was he couldn't win the big non-con games week 1. And yeah, they beat Clemson. Big win, right? Well, little do we know that the problem is going to continue. And boy, did it. Because, like, the LSU teams, like, for this year, they could not score more than 24 points. I don't even think I've seen them score 31 points or 30 points this year. I don't think I've seen the number 28 on LSU. That is bad. They lost to Ole Miss. It was going to be more problems from there. I mean, they lost to Texas A&M last night, and they lose the week before last. It's like I said, when the fans were chanting "Fire Brian Kelly," and then A&M students are teaming up with them, it's time for you to go. And honestly, Brian Kelly is going to get a lot of calls. And if Penn State's hiring him, I feel sorry for them already. Like, you got rid of James Franklin for James Franklin 2.0.
That's pretty much what it is, man. You're absolutely right.
Oh, yeah.
Because when you take a step back and you look at that era, that is almost James Franklin-like. It's embarrassing. It's absolutely embarrassing as a program. So there's supposed to be a team meeting in about 25 minutes, according to Pete Nakos, which as soon as the news came out, I think everybody's mind shifted to saying they're going to fire him. It's going to happen, and he's probably going to address it at some point.
Oh, hold on one sec. I'm just sending in the link to a familiar face of the voice of college football nation.
Okay.
Guy's name is Darrell MVP.
Huh.
There you go. There you go. But man, it's gonna be interesting to see who Scott Woodward's gonna get.
And the thing that sucks worse about it is that this was his hire.
Yeah. So he's definitely on a hot seat. His name isn't as bright as it was 5 years ago. Because like the Chris Peterson hire, that looks good, right? I think like the only thing saving him is LSU women's basketball, really.
I mean, that and really baseball. That's really your only two that you have at this point in time.
Mm-hmm.
Because other than that, I mean, athletics-wise for LSU, aside from those two, basketball's been a dumpster fire. And everything else I can't really account for. Football's been inconsistent since the start of the decade.
Yep.
You are not going to get to the promised land with Brian Kelly. I think you realized that after last night. I think you realized that after the Ole Miss game, in my opinion. And that was the final straw. When you have a roster this stacked and you can't produce, this is on you. It's on you.
Yeah, I mean, it's over for them. I mean, like losing to Vandy, losing to Ole Miss, and getting smacked around by A&M's coach, whose strength coach got fired by you. That's a red flag. That's just a red flag. Terrible.
The last 3 weeks, these are the LSU running backs. 58 carries, 348 yards, and a touchdown. You've averaged 6 yards a carry. If we found a run game, quote unquote, from Brian Kelly, you did. But you didn't do anything with it. Because you got away from what worked for you. Because your running back rotation is god awful. What a joke. What a freaking joke. But, hey, this is more news that I may be on here for a while at this point, Jackson.
That's all right.
This is so ridiculous and this is so stupid about what has transpired over the last 4 weeks of the Brian Kelly era that it makes me sick. But you did this to yourself. Really, it's a fan's perspective's fault for getting LSU so hyped up in the preseason. And this is on me, too. I had Garrett Nussmeier as the top 5 quarterback. I had Garrett Nussmeier as the best quarterback going into this year. I should have known better. I should have known better from the last couple games that he played last year that it was a fluke. He's not that good of a quarterback. He struggles with trust in the pocket. He struggles with buying time with his respective receivers, and he struggles to try and deliver on the dime. He struggles with reading through his progressions. He makes stupid errant throws that ended up costing you a game. That's the bottom line. When you compare him to other top quarterbacks like Fernando Mendoza or Ty Simpson, he doesn't have that. He doesn't have that moxie, that swagger that you should carry. He doesn't. That's not his game. The game is going past him. He's going to go back to being a 3rd or 4th round pick, maybe a 5th round pick at best. And they're probably going to hype him up during the combine and say, oh, well, things changed. Oh, things did that. Guys, you know what he really did. You know what happened in the preseason. You know how you were hyping him up. And then you got to where you are right now. Look at what he's doing. Not a whole lot.
Brent Key would be a pretty good coaching candidate, but would he want to leave Georgia Tech is the question.
Thing is, too, is that he's a former Alabama O-line coach, too.
That's true.
And he's played at, and he's a former Georgia Tech player. Oh, he's got some decisions to make soon, dude. I mean, it is. I don't know what he's going to do. I don't know where this program goes forward when it comes to the head coaching search. I don't know, man. I don't know. Because you have no answers right now. Because you have no idea with where this program is trending towards. It's not like what it was at the end of the whatchamacallit, the Ed Orgeron era, where things took a tumble downhill. But this is probably worse, in my opinion, knowing that the culture has never been great. But that's my opinion, man. Most of these guys that have been here around the same time as Garrett, they were around during Ed's last couple years. Garrett was a redshirt freshman whenever Ed got fired. What a way for your career to start and end. Your head coach getting fired in your first year and your head coach getting fired in your last year of eligibility. That's the bottom line when it comes to LSU, man. But let's go more around the SEC. We'll take a break from Brian Kelly for a little bit. My bad, Jackson. I don't know what it is, but I think my wisdom tooth is rubbing against my cheek, and it hurts like hell, dude. But let's go ahead and let's get into some more of what happened yesterday. Ole Miss going to Norman and absolutely getting a massive victory on the road to keeping them alive. It was college football playoff elimination week around the SEC, Jackson, and we got a loaded lineup earlier this week. So we start off in Norman, Oklahoma. What was your big takeaway from this game?
Well, I heard Chad Smith on the Oklahoma postgame show talking about how Oklahoma's been pretty bad at clock management. I noticed a little bit of that too. It was not looking good, although Chambliss looked pretty good for Ole Miss. Like it was a huge day they had. I thought for a moment Oklahoma's gonna win it, but they blew their shot at victory against Ole Miss.
Trinidad Chambliss is one of the best dual threat quarterbacks in the SEC right now, and he's earned the starting job. Absolutely earned it at this point in time. I think he's going to keep it for the remainder of the year. What does Austin Simmons do? I don't know, man. I mean, does he decide to transfer? Does he wait for one more year to maybe take the start? Because this is Trinidad Chambliss's last year of eligibility as well. Austin Simmons, if I'm him, I would take a red shirt this year if he has one. I don't know if he does. I'm looking to see if he does. Yeah, he already has a red shirt that he burned up. So this is just another year of that he's wasting. So he'd have 2 more years at least, which I would recommend he does, to be in Lane Kiffin's offense if he even is still at Ole Miss. But I thought the run game came out swinging. I thought Kewan Lacey had a nice game, 78 yards rushing and 2 scores. But again, it's the big plays that Ole Miss was able to generate that was absolutely massive for this program. Winston Watkins with a 43-yard hard bomb. A Caden Lee big play. That the little things that you were able to get consistently helped you in the long run. I thought Oklahoma, for what it's worth, they got away from what it was working. Decisions near the end of that football game, trying to go for a deep shot instead of taking what was in front of him. He did that the last 2 drives of the game. 4th and 5 from your, I believe, you were at the 30-yard line. It's a 3rd and 5, and your tight end sitting in the middle of the field wide open, and you could have checked it down to him, and he would have turned around and gotten a first down, and you didn't do that. So that's on Mateer. That's on really, really bad decision making and not taking what's in front of you. Elite quarterbacks know when to check it down. I'm not saying that John Mateer is not an elite quarterback, but I'm also saying that he made some really bad errors that cost him a football game.
Oh, yeah.
Texas, Mississippi State going into overtime.
Oh, my God. That game was a fantastic finish for the Longhorns. Like, Mississippi State once again lost another conference game. It looked like for a moment Mississippi State was going to have the upset, like as they were leading 38-21. Then Texas is just making that comeback. Like special teams really came in handy for the Longhorns.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, I mean your coverage team was god awful.
Niblett getting a nugget for 79 yards. Like that was huge.
Yeah, you threw the football game away, dude.
Ugh.
And it's on you. That was Texas A&M. In my opinion, that was, how do I say it? That was Mississippi State's last opportunities to make a bowl game. To get to their last 2 wins to make a bowl game. I thought you had an opportunity to do it against Tennessee. You had missed opportunities against Florida, and you had missed opportunities again.
Oh, that's bad.
You'll probably go to Arkansas and win that football game. I expect you to do that.
Oh, they'll probably screw that up, I'm sure.
Hey, but you got to find a way to win another one against either Georgia, Missouri, or Ole Miss. Missouri's your last opportunity because they just lost Beau Pribula. But we'll see, man.
Well, there is growing optimism that Beau Pribula won't need surgery and he could come back during the regular season.
Jackson, you're not going to believe who just showed up today.
Who? Yo, what up, man?
I thought I heard the Alabama loner talking. And apparently Lucas took off.
God, dog, Caden, you sound like crap, dude. You all right? The winter season getting to you too?
No, just been working. What the hell do you think I'm doing, Lucas? Sitting around? Hell no.
I mean, anything goes, dude.
And I'm the one who's working on a farm besides talking facts on here.
Okay, buddy. What facts do you have to share with us?
The SEC is a cesspool of crap. Let's be fair.
I thought you were a Georgia fan.
I respect Georgia fans, to be clear.
But I thought
he's an Ohio State fan, but he's
Jackson, I think, let me speak. Let the diesel freak speak.
Well,
I'm a diehard Ohio State fan, but I have friends who are Georgia fans, and I respect them. I also have friends who are Baltimore Ravens fans. I respect those fellas. I also have a buddy who's a Miami Hurricanes fan. You got a problem with that?
didn't say there was a problem, good buddy.
I'm asking the question, Jackson.
Yeah? What's your question?
I just asked it. You had a problem?
No problem. What was your
Lucas?
takeaway from week 9 of the SEC?
Well, besides Brian Kelly getting his carcass fired from LSU, which I told LSU fans, don't expect Brian Kelly to take you to a national championship, because I knew that whole train was going to go down after Jaden Daniels left LSU, because that was. But besides that, Alabama struggled with South Carolina. No surprise. Vanderbilt beat Missouri. That was a no-brainer game. Texas A&M and Ole Miss are trying to say that they're back, but we all know that they're just a one-hit wonder year for Texas A&M and Ole Miss. Mississippi State is still the garbage can that they are. What else do you expect from me?
I don't know how they do, or were they on a bye?
We're on a bye right now, but then after next week, we're back to kicking ass like we do.
I mean, to be fair, you are the best team in college football at this point in time. So,
hey, truthfully, we're the 9-time reigning, defending, undisputed national champions. Soon to be 10 times, soon to be 11-time undisputed national champions. So, I'm not too worried.
all right.
But what? Lucas doesn't like
Are
the
you
sound of
happy
Ohio
that the
State.
SEC gives you good players? Are you happy that the SEC gives Ohio State chances to win a freaking national championship? You're welcome that Ohio State is able to hug dudes from the SEC because of their hand in the piggy bank that's able to give it to other dudes there.
Too many hands in the cookie jar.
That's true, though. That's the truth.
Yeah.
Or here's the other fact, Lucas. We're better than every school in the SEC, including Alabama.
Or you also have a big wallet that you can provide players money.
It's a 50-50. Let's put it that way, Lucas, since you want to talk.
No, Caden. No. That's a 75-25 at best.
That's in your opinion, Lucas Hill. That's your opinion.
No, it's not an opinion. It's a fact, dude. Go look at recent history.
But the bottom line is, we're better than y'all in the SEC. We're better than y'all.
All right.
What?
Good luck playing Texas A&M.
And you're telling us good luck? Please, Texas A&M is going to get stomped.
Okay.
Ole Miss, stomped. Alabama, stomped. I mean, if we played Alabama right now, if we played Alabama right now, we would dog walk them.
All right, that's funny.
If we played South Carolina, we would stomp y'all Gamecocks like you never seen.
No kidding. Because South Carolina is so bad right now, it stinks. Because your offensive coordinator stinks.
I don't think you should be scooting your butt across the floor because you're beating a 5-loss South Carolina team, but that's just me now.
Jackson, that's just your opinion. If Ole Miss comes up to Columbus, we would dog walk them.
Okay.
What? I'm just saying that we're better than y'all in the SEC. Well, Lucas, what? You hate my guts because I'm a Big Ten fan. I'm a fan of the 9.
Whoa. I never said that I hated your
Nobody
guts.
hates your guts.
That is your words that you're trying to put into my mouth, and I'm not putting up with that.
Listen, you know how much crap I get from SEC fans on Twitter, by the way? I'm on Twitter.
No.
Oh, my God. It's ridiculous. Ole Miss fans, Mississippi State fans, Tennessee fans.
What's crazy is I post a lot about the SEC, and Michigan fans don't say anything, but as soon as I say something about Ohio State, y'all are up in arms against me.
I mean, let's be fair. Ohio State fans are passionate of this program, and
how many times has Michigan State beaten Ohio State?
What, 4?
Over the last 4 years? Okay.
Then we're gonna dog walk them this year.
All right.
Michigan State's not on your schedule, good buddy.
We're talking about Michigan, Jackson, not Michigan State.
Oh, okay. I feel like Michigan Ohio State's a tight one this year.
Tight.
Yeah.
Jackson Johnson, this is the game of revenge. We're going up to Ann Arbor. We're dog walking them, and we're leaving them dead. What do you expect of this game? What? It's going to be Michigan's going to try to fight back? Oh, heck no. We're going into Ann Arbor, and we're going to beat them. That's straight up.
Okay.
And this Ohio State defense is, in the words of my Baltimore Ravens friends, the dream team of the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah.
You've got all the meanest dudes on one team, including Patrick Willis and Ray Lewis at your linebacker position with Junior Seau. And you got Just Tuck and everybody else on the defensive line. And you got Sean Taylor and Ed Reed side by side. Come on now. That's a defense that you don't want to play against every year, beating your carcasses. 60 minutes, no excuses. I mean, come on. That's this Ohio State team. That's this Ohio State defense that's playing out of their minds. I mean, sure, we dog walk Wisconsin. I think that was just a no-brainer.
Everybody's dog walking Wisconsin.
It's true.
Yeah, but I told SEC fans this. If we were to play Tennessee again, we dog walk them. Oh, Lucas Hill over here sounding confident. Like, that ain't going to happen. History lesson, Lucas. We beat him in the horseshoe the first time, 42-17. 42-17. And Nico didn't even show up.
Oh.
Tennessee, dummy. Who do you think I'm talking about?
Not going to the college football playoff this year, Dick.
I said a history lesson, moron.
Are you talking about the entire SEC, or you are talking about Tennessee specifically?
I was talking about Tennessee, that specific demonstration of Ohio State's defense, and that they're that elite. And I'm going to tell you, Lucas Hill, that if we play anybody from the SEC right now, if we didn't have the bye week and they came up here, we would dog walk them.
Okay.
God.
What? Jackson, you're just mad. Like, Jackson's just mad that Alabama ain't in at Ohio State playing us right now, because if they did, Ty Simpson would be getting his carcass sacked not once, not twice, but 15 times.
Okay.
Oh, man. I
And
think
Lucas Hill-
Alabama, Ohio State would be a tight one between both
Award-winning
teams.
offensive line. All right.
And Lucas Hill, you're lucky Ohio State don't play South Carolina, because if we did, we'd be stomping
I
y'all
don't
like
care
you've never
about
seen.
South Carolina at this point right now, Caden. I'm worried about the SEC as a whole.
You sound worried, but in reality,
Okay.
oh, this is the funniest part. Lucas Hill of the
Funniest
SEC
part.
Primetime Live channel is a
This is
South
not
Carolina
live,
fan,
this is SEC live, but okay.
but he's concerned about the SEC, that the state of the SEC is falling apart.
It's really
We're
not.
not
Okay.
when I've told SEC fans that they're the cesspool of college football besides the ACC.
Uh-huh.
I mean, truthfully told, Alabama's overrated. Texas A&M's overrated. Ole Miss is overrated.
Uh-huh.
And heck, what is it? Oh, yeah, that's right. Ty Simpson, I told Jackson about 6 months ago, was one of the most overrated quarterbacks to come out of the recruiting class.
Okay. Cool.
Anything else, Caden?
What do you think's gonna happen with Indiana once they get into the college football playoff? They gonna lay an egg like they did last year?
You're asking me. Oh, let me see. Oh, we're gonna dog walk them.
Who? Indiana?
Ohio State is going to dog walk Indiana. You should understand that, Lucas Hill, for the love of God.
Once they get to the Big Ten title game, I was talking about Indiana when they get into the college football playoff. I could give two craps about when they get into the Big Ten title.
Even if they try in the playoffs, we're dog walking them either way.
We're talking about Indiana dog walking teams from the SEC.
Yeah, Indiana's not last. And anyways, but as far as Ohio State goes, we're dog walking everybody. We don't care who it is. We don't give a about who it is.
Okay, so this is breaking news, by the way. Supposedly, there's an agreement that's coming together that Brian Kelly is going to take 40% of his buyout. So that's less than what? 20, that's
54
about 20. So he's got 54 at this point. That's about 20 million that he's going to be taking. It's still $20 million, but I mean, that's a hell of a restructure at that point. For that to go down 60%, that's incredible.
21.6 million.
So he's going to get 21.6 million. Well, I mean, LSU's broke too, and they're still trying to find a new president as well.
Man, I need to go be a college football head coach.
I think anybody could at this point, bro.
I told people LSU is not as good as they seem, and look what happened. Look what happened. I told everybody. No, LSU fans were all up in their heads and all up in their saying that they were back. I told them, no, you are not. You're not elite. Your days of being elite and glorious are over.
Yeah. I don't think that they're over, but you are not in a good position at this point in time right now. Fellas, I want to thank you both for joining in to the Final Whistle Live here on the SEC Live channel. Thank you guys so much once again for hopping on inside SEC Live here at the Voice of College Football. Make sure y'all do us a favor and hit the like, share, and subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell notification. Caden, I'm muting your mic because I can't deal with that dog. Guys, once again, make sure you guys do us a favor. Hit the like, share, and subscribe if you're watching us on YouTube. If you're watching us on Twitter, hit the like, hit that repost button, share it to all those friend groups. Tell 5 SEC friends around you that we are live every Sunday night for the Final Whistle recap around all of the SEC. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, y'all stay blessed. Y'all stay blessed. Y'all don't stress. Y'all have a great rest of the week. We will see you all Tuesday for South Carolina Live. You'll be on Monday for Alabama Live for Jackson. Caden will be calling on a regular basis and ready to get back after it once again on another great week at the Voice of College.
College football is even more exciting when you've got some action on the line, and the games are even better when you're cashing in. And the Voice of College Football is the place to be to get the greatest value. Start with my picks. 75% against the money line, 58% against the spread, and I've got a 40-plus year track record. 11-0 in the college football playoff for me last year against the money line, 8-3 against the spread. And I'm just the warm-up act. Steve Merrill of Wager Talk is our ace in the hole, show stopper. 7 years with the Voice of College Football, over 30 years in the industry. Steve gives us analysis on all the big games, but you can't miss Steve's weekly under-the-radar pick. 28-12 against the spread the last 3 years. You also get picks from some of our top analysts here at the Voice of College Football, including Corey Bratta, Matt Zemek, and Steve Dace. Check out those numbers. Become a YouTube or Patreon member for just $99 per month. Go to the main channel on YouTube, click join, and then select the betting tier. Do the same thing on Patreon. Make 2025 a winner now.